Welcome to Pack the Rock podcast with the Hoosier Network. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, William Stewart. Next to me, Ian Plaskoff, and across from us, Ava Wegenke and Nick Rodecap. It's a very calm intro this week. Very simple intro. Definitely not the second time we've recorded this intro.
Yeah, I don't know why. It feels like we were just here.
It's weird. A couple days ago.
Potentially.
But there's no proof.
Well, there might be on someone's computer somewhere in the land of hypotheticals and make-believe. If.
It's a little bit south and a little bit east of us.
SEC computer.
Uh-huh. That was good.
That was actually really good.
So now this laptop is cursed. It's the SEC computer.
But it would win any battle between any other brand of computer.
Of course. Absolutely. On a hypothetical neutral field in Atlanta, Georgia, playing a team from the north, it would win.
Yep. Because hypothetically, it would have audio from the first time we tried to record this.
Right.
Kind of like hypothetically, Notre Dame would beat Miami.
Right, of course.
What a silly discussion that is. The committee, they said something about weighting the losses of those two teams.
What?
I feel like head-to-head should mean something. And, well, as I recall, Notre Dame lost to Miami, but they're ranked ahead of them in the CFP. It's whatever.
That tracks.
Losses matter. Quality losses matter.
Hashtag quality losses 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So if you mess up something so bad at work, just say, but boss, it was a really tough challenge that you put me against, so you shouldn't hold it against me. That's advice for everyone at home.
The audio won, but it was a close game.
Yeah, see, the levels are just so tough to mess with. Like, it's not 4 switches. There's also a 5th. You know, it's just tough. It's really tough. You know what else was tough? Watching the first half of Indiana-Wisconsin, but Indiana won 31-7 last week. It's the first time Indiana's 11-0 in school history. Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman favorite, he was 22 of 24 for nearly 300 passing yards. He was all 3 feet short. He threw for 4 touchdowns as well. He's first in the country with 30 passing touchdowns on the year, standalone second in the country with a 184.8 passer rating, but he was sacked 5 times, the most in a game this season for the Heisman favorite Fernando Mendoza. Charlie Becker. What is it? Charlie Becker. Becker, right. They're doing the Drake May thing with Charlie Becker. And if you're unaware, you just say Drake. Drake May.
What a tough nickname.
It's a nickname.
The roommate.
And they were roommates. Shout out Colin McMahon.
Yes.
Ava just had PTSD in the Penn State game.
Every single time, guys, that Charlie Becker makes a catch or a touchdown, Colin McMahon, without fail, texts me, and they were roommates.
He's texting you it now?
Uh-huh.
Good.
Yeah, if I'm not in the press box, if he can't come over to me and say it, then he'll text me and say it. Because all of it started at Penn State when we had to sit next to each other, and it's just...
And they were roommates.
If you don't hear it from Colin, you'll hear it directly from Fernando. Every time you hear Charlie Becker, that's my roommate. It's my roommate, Charlie Becker. Wide receiver
true.
Charlie Becker, he's my roommate.
Hey guys, I'm Charlie Becker, and I'm Fernando Mendoza's roommate.
And also his favorite target now.
That's what
apparently.
Charlie Becker sounds like. It's true.
Charlie, the roommate Becker, was 5 for 108 and a touchdown. Omar Super Cooper was 3 for 39 and a touchdown. He now is at 10 touchdowns on the year. He's tied third nationally, funnily enough, with Elijah Surratt, who did not play against Wisconsin. He's still dealing with his hamstring. Sig did say earlier this week that he's been practicing and, quote-unquote, looks fine, whatever that means.
He'll be good to go.
Fine.
He'll be good to go.
Good tune-up game against Purdue, get him back in the swing of things, and then...
Yeah, we were having the discussion earlier. I don't know who I was talking to. It was like, does he need to play against Purdue because he practiced every day against one All-American, D'Angelo Ponce?
Oh, that was with me, yeah.
Yeah, I would say that Elijah Surratt could, if nothing else, play against Purdue just to make his case as a Biletnikoff finalist, because he and Omar Cooper are both semifinalists for the Biletnikoff Award, which is given to the nation's best wide receiver. And yeah, sure, if he has another day like he did last year where he went for like 8 receptions and 170 yards and a touchdown, then I'm sure he's not going to complain about that. But
probably not.
I'd be surprised to see Elijah Surratt not play against Purdue, to be honest with you. But if he doesn't play, as we have found out, Charlie Becker is a more than suitable number 2 option at the outside receiver position.
There is also the thing that game speed is a thing. So I'm sure him and D'Angelo, as much as they love competing, are probably not going game speed at practice.
Wouldn't that be cool to watch, though?
It'd be electric.
Cinema. 2 future NFL players going one-on-one right here in Bloomington, Indiana.
They're
right out back of Memorial Stadium.
It's the center of the college football universe.
Perker Signetti.
There are so many NFL talents on this team, either this year or next year or a couple years away. Obviously, Indiana has not sent many players to the NFL draft, but that's going to change quickly. And it's going to be so weird to see these guys in a different setting in the next couple of years. Fernando obviously is the obvious choice here for what is he going to look like in the NFL? Carter Smith as well, the receivers. You just have no idea what their roles could be, how they're going to be with the new mediascape, a different colored uniform too. I don't know. I'm very interested. There are a lot of talents on this team.
Different colored uniform?
Yeah, Fernando goes to the Jets, he's wearing green now. It's just
if he goes to I've said this before, if Fernando Mendoza goes to the Jets, he is going to die.
Yeah.
The Jets kill every quarterback they touch. I mean, look what they've Justin Fields was kind of broken when he got there, but
respect Justin Fields.
No, but he sucks in the NFL.
Yeah, he's been bad.
He sucks in the NFL. And also, look at what happened to Sam Darnold. He looked completely incompetent when he was in New York, and then he went and had a good season in Minnesota. And I think he
had
just
some
threw
good games in Carolina, too.
Well, yeah, and see, that's the other thing is that, as soon as they leave the Jets, they get better. But I would rather not see Fernando Mendoza go to the Jets and have his confidence shattered. Because I don't think that he's the kind of person who would do well in a market like New York. I think the pressure would be way too much for him.
I think small market would be best case scenario for Mr. Mendoza. Where would that be? I don't know. I mean, Cleveland's not much better than the Jets. New Orleans, I don't know
if there's really a
Vegas.
No,
I
don't know if there's really a good situation for a small market team in the NFL because it's the NFL.
The problem
they run the country.
They're drafting number one.
You're the first overall pick. You're gonna get Shedeur Sanders gets covered in Cleveland.
Yeah, which is a total joke, by the way. There are so many different ways I could go with that, but I will just say that the way Shedeur Sanders has been treated by the media is an absolute joke because it turns out the Browns were actually right by starting Dylan Gabriel over him. And Shedeur could have gone to Baltimore and he blew up that whole process. Why would you not want to learn under Lamar Jackson? Fernando Mendoza is going to be the anti-Shedeur Sanders as far as the pre-draft stuff goes. And I think that's putting it lightly. But my concern with Fernando Mendoza going to the Jets is that there are certain players, certain athletes who are very good at what they do who struggle in the New York media market. I mean, look at what happened to Sonny Gray and Aroldis Chapman with the New York Yankees. Those are two guys who are very good pitchers as far as Major League Baseball is concerned. They struggled in New York. But as soon as they left, they started doing well again. That's what I hope does not happen to Fernando Mendoza. But also in the NFL, there's a reason that bad teams stay bad. And there's a reason you generally see the same 7 or 8 teams picking at the top of the draft every year. It's because they're poorly run. And it's basically wherever Fernando Mendoza goes, he's probably not going into a good situation. But, that's well down the road, and there's a lot of different hurdles to clear before we get to the draft. But it's just something to think about.
Who knows? After the Triple Option podcast, Urban Meyer may come out of retirement and coach whatever team Fernando's going to.
Dude, that was awesome.
They were talking ball. They could have talked ball for 24 hours straight. I mean, that was really entertaining. And Fernando is just such an intelligent person. And there was a tweet somebody put out. It was some Browns fan. This whole entire list of pros for Fernando Mendoza, and the one con was he's a dork.
I love that tweet.
For an NFL quarterback, though, being a dork is a very good thing.
Just look at Andrew Luck.
Right.
Now, I'm not comparing Fernando Mendoza to Andrew Luck, other than the fact that Andrew Luck talks like this and Fernando Mendoza does not. But I think it's kind of stupid how a lot of people on Twitter, when Fernando Mendoza was interviewed by ESPN earlier this week, and he's been getting all this national press because it's Indiana's bye week, a lot of people attack the way he speaks. And they say that it sounds like he's reading off a teleprompter or something. I think that people don't understand what it looks like when somebody is extremely well-spoken as an athlete at that high of a level. Because a lot of people probably don't know Fernando Mendoza was committed to Yale. This is a guy who could have gone to an Ivy League school to play football, and he chose Cal, which is an extremely prestigious academic institution in its own right, because they had better football. And he's going to have an undergraduate degree from Cal, and he's going to have a master's from the Kelley School of Business. And I
in
think
5 years.
Yeah, and I think he and Pat Coogan combined are probably the smartest center quarterback combo in the entire country. Pat Coogan has a degree from Notre Dame. And I just think that people are they attack the way Fernando Mendoza speaks, and they think that he's using AI when he's on these national interviews. And he's got the facial expressions right. Well, his parents taught him to make eye contact with people. And I think that, sure, his personality is a little different, but if you've seen the way he speaks to the media in scrums where he has no opportunity to prepare his answers, he speaks the same way. He thinks through everything really methodically, and he's extremely deliberate in what he says, and he always gives credit to his teammates, and he takes accountability. Why would you not want that in a quarterback? I don't know how you can attack him for that, to be honest.
I think the best part is how no matter who he's talking to, it's always the most formal addressing of whoever. Like, he went on the Pat McAfee show. It's like the most informal setting ever. Hi, Mr. McAfee. I know your wife, Mrs. McAfee, is a Hoosier, so shout out. Then on the show with the triple option, it was Coach Meyer, Mr. Ingram, Mr. Stone for Mark Ingram, Rob Stone, Urban Meyer.
That is so tough.
That's
Mr.
so
Stone. That's so sick.
It's really funny.
That's just who he is, though. Like, we've spent the whole season talking to him, and I know, like, it's shocking to a lot of people, but, like, that's just genuinely who he is.
Yeah, I was thinking back to this Big Ten Network video that got put out of Alberto and Fernando, and they asked him to give nicknames to each other, and Alberto's nickname for Fernando was Nerdy Nando. And I couldn't be any more accurate. We've talked about this dude's LinkedIn profile before, and it's all serious. And after football, who knows? He could be, and I don't know, some big-time
the mayor of Miami
or something.
I think he can be the mayor of Miami.
He's going places. Very, very. It's been a pleasure to be around Fernando this year. Just as a person, he's great.
Yeah, and I think that, one, again, like I said, he's going to be the anti-Shedeur Sanders. He's not going to turn teams away in the pre-draft process. I think he's going to nail those interviews. And now I'm thinking there might be a little bit of either an Andrew Luck comp in terms of personality and like the way they process things. There also might be a Tom Brady-esque comparison, not in the play style, but in the way they speak, the way they articulate things, because you hear Tom Brady talk and he doesn't sound like the greatest quarterback of all time. But that's just how he processes things. He talks about things kind of differently, I guess. But obviously it worked. But I just kind of feel like, so what if Indiana's quarterback is a little, is as some people call him, a nerd, or he's a geek or whatever. He can spin the rock. He's a Heisman favorite. Like, who cares what his personality's like? If he gets the job done, then what's the problem?
To that point, Indiana finally put out a Heisman campaign. That was the plan. They were never going to do it during game week, but I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, why's that?
I don't know. Maybe the one who came up with the idea for said Heisman campaign is looking right into this camera and speaking right now.
Would you
so?
call the hypothetical creator of the idea a genius?
You could say that. Yeah, here's how it happened. So
I'm going to go blow by blow here. Let's go.
So the process is really fascinating to me.
It's quite simple, to be honest.
Yes, but just how quickly it came together.
That too.
Stu and I are in a class with Jeff Kegg, who's, I believe, head of the Cuban Center or something of the sort, director of football communications,
director
hashtag
of the
B360.
SIDs. Yeah.
Anything that comes out of the football program, it's probably through him. And
he is per sources about Indiana football.
Yeah. Our class is college sports media relations, and we had this class period where we were going about how to go, take on the Heisman campaign for Fernando. The question of to do it, to not do it, how to do it if they are doing it.
To be or not to be.
And we were split into groups. That's exactly right. And in my group, we were focusing our thoughts on how to show off Fernando as a person, not necessarily as a football player, because his play speaks for itself. And I'm like, hey, why don't we think about displaying his football season this year for everything on the field, off the field, as a LinkedIn profile, because that's who he is. If he's being displayed as this kind of guy, why not lean into it and show off his traits, his values, his experience? It's felt like a money idea. And so it gets brought up. Jeff Kegg is like, wow, that's a good idea. And he texts me after class. He passed it on to the Cuban Center, which is in charge of all video content that you see out of Indiana football. They all loved it. It started to be made, getting made and getting in development. It got passed on to Sig, and he didn't mind it. So then they went, and I think Trevor was in charge of it. Trevor Bowens, I think is his name, in the Cuban Center. He spent 40 or 50 hours on it, I think, is what I heard from Jeff, and did a fantastic job, as the whole Cuban Center did. And they put out the video release on Monday afternoon, I believe it was.
Monday at like noon, yeah.
And so, yeah, there was a video searching through the LinkedIn. There is an actual LinkedIn profile, Fernando Heiss Mendoza, and the vision was indeed executed.
The SEC computer comes through.
Yes, the vision was executed, and very cool that this is the only social media Heisman campaign that Indiana football's ever put out, and I kind of was the brains behind it.
Pretty sure that anyone's ever put out. I don't remember ever seeing a social media or a LinkedIn profile.
No, I mean just any Heisman candidate being pushed by Indiana football. Yeah.
Oh, or that. Yeah. I think my favorite part about the Heiss Mendoza LinkedIn page is the top skills, specifically the last one of touchdown passes and high fives.
Yeah.
Known high five giver Fernando Mendoza. Because the first four, they're actually, I think they're literal LinkedIn top skills, because it's relationship building, works well under pressure, team leadership, and skilled multitasker. And then it's just high fives, by the way.
He does a good job with that.
He does a good job of celebrating, doesn't he?
He's got plenty to celebrate. That's for sure.
Well, they've got the featured links that they have on his page. There's the video of him celebrating Alberto's touchdown pass. I want to say it's against Indiana State. I don't know what game it's from, but it's, the video of him jumping and fist pumping the air. It's the yippee celebration.
That pass was caught by Charlie Becker.
And they were roommates.
Drake, May.
Between all that, I don't think I even finished the stats from the Wisconsin game. But
yeah, we got the impressive stuff. The run game sucked.
Run game was, subpar. 37 carries, 83 yards. And the defense, 2 sacks and 8 tackles were lost. Evan Boykin with another pick. The defense is good. And I still don't know how they blew that coverage and just let a tight end walk into the end zone.
Because Wisconsin threw the forward pass.
They didn't expect Carter Smith to actually throw the ball.
Yeah.
That was it. They were selling out on the run. And it's kind of a once-a-game thing where Indiana's due for a coverage bust, which is concerning.
It is.
You think about, I'm trying to think back, kind of a photographic memory here.
All right, Mike Ross.
It happened against Illinois, led to a touchdown. It happened against Iowa, but the pass was either overthrown or dropped. Happened against Oregon, led to their only offensive touchdown of the game. Did it happen against Michigan State?
Was that the strip by Jamari Sharp? What game was that?
Yeah.
Yes. It happened against Michigan State.
There were 2 against Old Dominion, too.
There were 2, and, those were zone reads and missed assignments.
That
Same
wasn't
thing.
the secondary.
Yeah, but it was the same kind of thing. Missed assignment on defense, which led to Colton Joseph's rushing touchdowns. Kind of lost in the shuffle was that he got intercepted 3 times, and it didn't even really feel like it because that game was close at the end. The UCLA game, it didn't happen because UCLA was horrible.
Yeah.
And Maryland,
that first touchdown of the second half.
yes, they.
That wasn't really secondary. That was kind of just a good play by Washington and the running back. It's where he turned the running back upfield and led him down the sideline.
I completely memory hold that play, but you're right, that happened. That's right, Malik Washington. You're going to love Bloomington, Indiana next year. And then that leads us to the Penn State game where Nick Singleton is an NFL player and did NFL player things. And then against Wisconsin on 4th and 1 on a play action where everybody thought that Wisconsin was going to run the ball. So that's the kind of concerning thing. Obviously, Indiana's defense over the course of a game and over the course of the season has been really good, but they're due for just a couple head scratchers every game. And I feel like a better team, whoever Indiana faces in the Big Ten Championship, it could be one of like 4 teams, whoever Indiana faces is going to take note of that. And they're going to figure out creative ways to get Indiana's defense confused. So that's something to keep an eye on. That's something you'd like to see them iron out, but it just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, and barring the loss to Purdue in 2 weeks, Indiana is virtually a lock for the Big Ten Championship. They're not out if they have the 3-way tie thing happen with a bunch of 1-loss teams, or are they out?
I don't know, but I don't think they're going to get that 1 loss, so I'm not going to think about it.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I don't know if it's worth putting stock into thinking about that.
Credit to Kurt Cignetti for laying the rat poison with Purdue, because he made him sound like they were competitive, because he does it with every team. He makes them sound like they're the 1985 Bears or the 2007 Patriots or the 2003 Indianapolis Colts, perhaps. Hey, that team was really good.
I wasn't ready for them to be on par with the 07 Patriots and the 15-1 Chicago
that was probably
Bears.
the best Colts team that did not make it to the Super Bowl, because Mike Vanderjagt, I'm pretty sure, is an idiot.
Pretty sure.
Our idiot kicker got liquored up and ran his mouth. Thank you, Peyton
Dylan
Manning.
Beach have a Mike Vanderjagt shirt?
Oh, goodness.
I don't know.
Why would anybody want to
He
remember?
has one.
Why would anyone want to remember Mike Vanderjagt's time on the Colts?
He's got a shirt, though.
Mike Vanderjagt is the anti-Nico Radicic.
Hey, man.
He was not a good kicker,
Talk to DB about it.
but Nico Radicic is a good kicker. Lou Groza, semifinalist. No, but he makes every team sound like they're good. He made UCLA sound like they were good, and that is hard to do.
Well, that was a little weird.
Yeah,
in an
but-
instance.
We were on a
Yeah, they're 3-0 with a new
stint.
coaching staff.
Everybody knew it was a flash in the pan. Just don't look at what I said about UCLA before that game.
Nah.
I definitely thought it was a flash in the pan. But no, he made Purdue sound like they were competitive. He said they're competitive at home. I know their record isn't great, but this is better than the Purdue team that we faced last year. What he did not say is that you have to qualify that comparison by realizing Purdue in 2024 was quite literally the worst Power 4 team in the country and one of the worst teams in the FBS. So there was nowhere to go but up for them. And if you watch Purdue play, they really haven't progressed all that much, even though they've got a new coaching staff. So it's going to be a bloodbath on Black Friday.
Yeah, we'll get to Purdue in a minute. That Purdue team is not great, like Nick said about 6 different times.
Capital N, capital G, not great.
Yeah, you could put that in all caps even. Just
Yeah.
not great. Now, it wasn't as I ripped on Wisconsin more than I think I will Purdue. Well, I called Wisconsin terrible, which, the offense was. The defense not so much. But obviously, we haven't spoke to either Kurt Cignetti or any players this week, as Indiana's on bye this week, so they're on bye from doing the regularly scheduled media. Obviously, they've been on Pat McAfee, and he did his radio show, but there has been something that come out this week. Obviously, the college football prediction show is every Tuesday at 8 p.m.?
It was 8:30 this week.
8:30 p.m. this week. Indiana comes in at number 2. Ohio State, the undefeated reigning national champion, number 1. Unsurprisingly, Oregon number 7, Notre Dame number 9. USC is the first out, and Michigan is still in the mix. Those are the notable Big Ten and regional teams with Notre Dame right there. Nick gave his thoughts on Notre Dame being ranked above Miami in the college football playoff, the bracket. But how do we feel about the bracket? Indiana faces the winner of Alabama and Oregon at the moment as the 2 seed, which I believe would send them down to Dallas.
The locations aren't matched up with the seating. It's weird.
Well, it's geographical.
Yeah, it'd probably be Dallas.
I think it's
Although-
because the Rose Bowl is the Big Ten champion.
You'd probably want to go to Miami.
No, but it's whoever you're closer to, whoever the higher seed, whoever they're closest to.
No.
Yeah, because they sent Ohio State to the Rose Bowl last year to play Oregon.
Well, the Big Ten championship goes to the Rose Bowl.
This is so confusing, and I hate it.
Hold on. Then let me lay it out. The number 1, whoever wins the Big Ten,
Yes.
Rose Bowl, you go to Henry Thussland.
Did they really keep the tie-ins? Why did
This is the last year with the tie-in.
I memory hold that. I think honestly,
They would go to Dallas. Bloomington is a lot closer to Dallas.
Jerry World.
but
And then whoever wins the SEC goes to
the Sugar Bowl.
the Sugar Bowl, yes. I was like, I'm blanking on it. They go to the Sugar Bowl. So Indiana or Ohio State goes to the Rose Bowl, whoever wins the game.
We're assuming Ohio State makes it.
Whoever wins the Big Ten goes to the Rose Bowl. Whoever wins the SEC goes to the Sugar Bowl. Obviously, whoever wins the Big Ten is probably going to be undefeated, so they will be the 1 seed. Whoever wins the Sugar Bowl is between the 2 and the 3 seed. Now, it depends where they put the losers of both games. The higher seeds, so whoever the 3 seed is, they go to whoever they are closer. So if Texas A&M is the 3 seed, Indiana is the 4 seed, Texas A&M would go to Jerry World. Indiana would obviously go to Miami. That's all that's left. But if Indiana is the 3 seed, or whoever's the 3 seed, wherever they are closest to, they go before the 4 seed.
This whole process is a total cluster truck.
Correct.
First of all, I'm looking at this projected bracket, which is based on the seedings, or based on the current rankings. The 4 seed has the easiest path to the semis. Georgia would get the winner of Tulane and Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Which I think would be much easier than the winner of Oregon versus Alabama.
Correct.
To be honest with you. And the 3 seed...
I want Alabama.
The 3 seed Miami and Ole Miss, and the Notre Dame and Oklahoma facing Ohio State. The winner of that game facing Ohio State. The committee has a problem with their methodology, the way they rank these teams, I think. I feel like we might eventually get to a point where the committee, Mike Leach said it in 2017, this isn't a true playoff, it's basically an invitational. And I'm not going to sit here and, ignore the fact that Indiana benefited from that last year. But I think we might just have to go back to the BCS, honestly. Because the BCS was actually a pretty good model. I think it's better than the committee, which is comprised, the chair is a sitting athletic director, not Mac Rhodes anymore because he stepped down. But the chair being an athletic director, there is absolutely no way that you can run a playoff committee and be a sitting athletic director, especially when, I'm not saying that the current chair, Hunter Yurachek, is involved in a coaching search right now. But there are so many schools out there that are conducting coaching searches, and being an athletic director is a full-time job. There's no way that you have enough time to adequately rank the teams. You just don't. There's not enough hours in a day. And when we're talking about Notre Dame being ranked ahead of Miami, because Miami has worse losses, even though Notre Dame lost to Miami head-to-head, what are we doing? Why do losses matter more than wins? It's just, the whole system is flawed, I think. But I don't know what the solution is other than going back to the BCS.
Yeah, there is no immediate solution to the college football playoff, which is why we're talking about just who the hell Indiana could play.
And
why don't they just let us make it?
Yeah, I was going to say, let us make the
Now
bracket.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking.
Spin a wheel.
Yeah, why? You know
Spin a
what?
wheel.
Just roll the
Indiana,
die.
UMass. Give me Indiana, UMass.
Can we get Indiana, Kennesaw State rematch in the national championship game?
Kennesaw State, hell of a season for
Bowl
Jerry
eligible.
Mack. Yeah, for Jerry Mack and the folks down in Georgia. He turned them around quick.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, they were not good last year.
Yeah.
And moving to the FBS is hard, but they figured something out down there.
The first ever Indiana athletic event that I remember going to was an Indiana-Kennesaw State basketball game in like 2015 or 13 or something like that.
That's how I found out that apparently Indiana played Kennesaw State in basketball.
It would have
Join
been
the club, Nick.
I think it was 13, and I think it was freshman year Yogi Ferrell who had 25 points in that game.
Yogi.
Kevin Farrell.
I believe it was a 90-66 final.
Absurd pull. Yeah, Kennesaw State, after losing to Indiana, rattled off 7 straight wins.
The Indiana effect.
Yeah. And now Old Dominion hasn't had the same luck, I don't think. Shout out Colton Joseph for being the best bad quarterback I've seen. Oh, yeah, Old Dominion 7-3 as well.
Hey, it's not too bad.
3rd in the Fun Belt. They lost back-to-back. They got blown out by James Madison on the road. That's right. Lost to Marshall, lost to JMU in back-to-back weeks. They shut out Troy. They've got Georgia Southern and Georgia State to close the season. But JMU, they just picked up right where they left off after Sig left, which was very impressive. I didn't think they were going to be able to do that, but they did. JMU is still a phenomenal program, and honestly, that would be a non-conference game I'd like to see. Indiana, I think it should be a requirement for a coach who gets hired away from a school to have to take his new school to his old school and play. I
Take
think
it to the old school?
Go on the road
on the
to
road?
the place that you left and play. That would be really cool.
So we would have had what? Kalen DeBoer would have had to take Bama into Washington?
Yeah.
I think I would have paid.
Indiana would have had to go to James Madison.
That would be
cool.
very cool.
You know? I think it would be sick.
Yeah.
It would
Ole
make
Miss
it,
would have to go to Florida next year.
Yeah. Lane Kiffin. No, Ole Miss would have to go to Florida, LSU,
Tennessee,
Auburn, Penn State, and
Twitter.
what's another hypothetical
Nate
job for
Burners.
Lane Kiffin? Probably the White House, because I'm sure some people have him as the president of the United States in
President
2028.
of Starkville.
Yeah. Let's see. Where else would Lane Kiffin have to go? But name your school, basically. But
Yeah.
that coaching-
NIU. Get
that
to the
coaching
cow,
search
buddy.
is such a circus.
I would like to say I was right. It was December 22nd, 2013. Yogi Ferrell, 25 points, 90-66, Indiana over Kennesaw State.
So you nailed it.
Yeah.
As per.
The deep bag of Ian Plaskoff.
Imagine if we all could remember useful information.
I know, right? That'd be so cool.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be so cool. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it'd be useful. Instead, we're sitting here talking about football, which is useful.
Yeah.
I think.
Depending on who you ask.
Yeah, I think it's varying opinions.
If you ask people in the South, we only realized it was useful last year.
If the eyebrow has shown up once again. Well, that's the college football bracket for you. That's just a rough estimate. We never actually did talk about if Indiana had to play Oregon or Alabama. I realize right now.
Yeah, we're too far out. Both would be cinema.
That
Both
would be
good.
really good games.
I'd like both.
I don't know if Indiana would win. I don't know if they could beat Oregon twice.
That's what I had the same worry about.
Yeah.
I don't want to
think
see
they,
Oregon.
I think they would.
I would not want, if I was an Indiana fan, I wouldn't want to see Oregon.
I would want Alabama out of that matchup.
Yeah. Especially because Alabama lost to Oklahoma at home, which was really funny.
Give me Alabama.
Has there been a receiver with a bigger fall off this year than Ryan Williams?
No.
His stock was really high after his freshman
Because
season.
he was really good.
And he was really good, but where has he been, relatively speaking? Yeah, like Jeremiah Smith kept his production up because Jeremiah Smith is a freak athlete. Ryan Williams, he's only 17. Well, as it turns out, a year older and maybe a sophomore slump for him.
It's not even the leading receiver on the team.
Yeah, that's
39 for 570 and 4 touchdowns.
Let's see. Indiana receivers run circles around him.
Well, let's go pull it up. Why don't we?
They run roundabouts around Ryan Williams. But no,
Okay.
it's just interesting because there was a big PR campaign around him last year, and he deserved the press at the time, but he has not kept that same level of production.
Yeah, if we go look at Indiana's receivers at the moment, Elijah Surratt, who was not played in 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
He hasn't played a full game since October.
Right. He has 45 receptions for 609 and 10 touchdowns, and Omar Cooper Jr. has 55 for 740 and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Again, Ryan Williams has 40 for 570 and 4 touchdowns. So it's not a bad year.
But he would school Indiana's DBs.
Yeah,
Right,
obviously.
right.
Let's not forget that in the eyes of Ohio State fans, Charlie Becker would be wide receiver 7 if he played for the Buckeyes. In the words of Peter Griffin, who the hell cares? Let's be honest here. Who cares? These are the dumbest comparisons. Hey, did you know Indiana's roster is mostly 3 stars? Yeah, they don't deserve to be in the playoff now,
Again,
do they?
Who cares?
Who cares? If anything, that makes Kurt Cignetti even more impressive. He's doing more with less. Some schools like South Carolina do less with more, like blow a 30-point lead against Texas A&M to fall to 1-6 in conference play. But if South Carolina played Indiana on a neutral field, obviously they'd win.
On a neutral field.
Brett Bielema against Shane Beamer last year.
Yeah, surely South Carolina won that game. Yeah.
Of course.
No, it's so, why are college football fans so miserable? Why do we have to diminish Charlie Becker? Why do Ohio State fans think about Indiana all the time?
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? It's like Ohio State fans look themselves in a mirror when they're watching Indiana football and they're like, go in there and make it about you. Dude, you guys got to worry about Michigan first. Worry about your Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback and your future first-round NFL wide receiver. And Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sayin, the most efficient quarterback in the country, who is a phenomenal player. You might even say he's fantastic, in the words of Fernando Mendoza. Why does everything have to be a comparison? Why can we not just acknowledge these are both really good teams?
Because everyone's competing at sports. I guess. I don't know.
They are both extremely well coached. Ohio State just won a freaking national championship. Their fans would rather focus on where Charlie Becker would hypothetically be on their depth chart, which, by the way, he was a backup to Elijah Surratt, which speaks to how good Elijah Surratt is. But the moment he got his chance, and again, this is what happens when you're really well coached and you have a really good system in place. The players are in the best position to succeed. That goes back to the coaching. That's why Kurt Cignetti might be the National Coach of the Year again. He might win the Bear Bryant Award again. He really might, because he's doing more with less. And that's why it's going to be really scary when Indiana starts landing more of these highly touted recruits. Because then you're talking about takeoff even more than it's already been. And that's going to be really cool to see.
They're going to take off more from 11-0
Yeah,
and
that's
having one of
the
the
thing.
biggest point differentials in the country.
That's the thing, yeah, is they're doing this much with players that Elijah Surratt was a 0-star recruit in high school.
Shout out St. Francis.
Fernando Mendoza was like 140th.
He was a 2-star?
He was maybe a 2-star. And I've told this story before. His high school coaches were calling teams and saying, hey, you guys might want to look at this guy. They passed on him. Those same coaches came calling earlier this year, and they're like, wow, yeah, we missed on Fernando Mendoza. We should have heeded your advice. We didn't, but we should have. It's going to be scary when they start getting higher caliber recruits in here, and you're already seeing it happen. Signetti's already flipped a couple guys. He's flipped a guy from Penn State, which I never would have thought was possible, but he did it. It's going to be interesting to see how Indiana fares when better recruits start coming here.
Well, before they get to the next season of getting better recruits, then they have to first get through a bye week and then go to West Lafayette and play Purdue, the 2-9 football team who was
That's their whole season.
0-8 in conference. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good metaphor, let's call it. They're 0-8 in the Big Ten. They're dead last, standalone dead last in the conference, unlike Indiana, who is standalone first in the conference at 8-0. Purdue's offense is a multiple offense. They have a 5-4 touchdown interception ratio as Malachi Singleton has taken over the offense because Ryan Braun has been benched. Purdue is in the middle of the pack between passing yards and rushing yards, but they're not scoring because they have 11 rushing touchdowns to 12 fumbles. They are turning the ball over almost as much as they score, which I'm no rocket scientist, but I'm pretty sure that's bad. And Nick is shaking his head.
Not good. Don't turn the ball over if you want to score points.
That's what they tell me.
Hire me, Florida.
So the leading scorers, Maccabee is out for the season. Brown is benched. And the kicker, Spencer Porith, who is from Brownsburg, Indiana, funnily enough. I don't know who put that in there between Ian and Nick.
That was Nick.
That was me.
They edit the script as I go through here and just add little notes. Porith has actually been a good kicker this year. He's had plenty of chances. He's 9th in the country in field goal percentage and has not missed an extra point yet. But, yeah, their leading scorers are out for the year and benched, and their kicker. So if that tells you anything about the state of Purdue football this season, it tells you they're not great.
Yeah, they got outrushed by James Carpenter last year, and I will never forget that. That was my favorite
He was toting
bit.
that rock, though.
That was my favorite bit of the season last year is in the bucket game, James Carpenter outrushed all of Purdue.
A defensive lineman on a fake punt outrushed Purdue's entire offense. It's kind of like, as far as Purdue this year, if your kicker is your one of your most
he's
productive,
quite literally the leading scorer.
Yeah, if
he
your
has
kicker,
double the. He has. If you combine Maccabee and Brown, he has as many points as they do.
If your
It's like
kicker is your
16.
leading scorer, it's kind of like in basketball. If you're grabbing a bunch of offensive rebounds, it means you're missing a lot of shots. If your kicker is scoring a lot, it means you are failing to get the ball in the end zone a lot.
Correct.
Or you're Niko Radicic and you lead the nation in extra points made.
Right.
Because your team scores a lot of touchdowns. So there's that too.
Kurt Signetti in the 2 years has won, 15 Big Ten games?
Yes.
And 15 games over Power 4 opponents.
15
In that
Indiana's
same 7-1, 8-0.
16. Because they were 8-1 in the Big Ten last year. Were they not?
Oh, right. They're non-conference games.
Yeah.
Duh. Yeah. So 16. In that same span, Purdue has won this many Big Ten games.
Yeah, their last Big Ten win was against Indiana.
Yes, Tom Allen's last game.
On my 20th birthday. And I will turn 22 in a few days. So that's how long it's been. Yeah.
The unction rolls on in the Pack the Rock podcast.
Yeah, no, that was an awful way to spend my birthday in West Lafayette watching that game, the last game of the Tom Allen era. It was horrible. A train wreck. And that's the last win that Purdue has over a Big Ten team, believe it or not.
I don't know what was more of a train wreck, that or I think you know where I'm about to go with this. Raised grass concrete patches with ramps that you have to build to mow the lawn.
Or the black painted end zone, white boundary line, black paint out of bounds in the back of the end zone.
That
and the
was
Purdue
so
wide
bad.
receiver
Yeah.
catches the touchdown pass out of bounds and thinks he's in the end zone while the Penn State DB just starts laughing at him.
Just
Or
looked at
this.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
We'll talk about the keys. There you go. Yeah. Followed by, you sucks. While they're playing the
While
school
you're
for the
0-8 in
blind.
the Big Ten.
Yeah. While they're playing Illinois or while they're hosting Notre Dame or whatever. But we're the little brother in Bloomington? You guys think about Indiana for 12 months out of the year. You're like Ohio State fans. Rent-free. Yeah, I hope he's not thinking about other girls. I'm really mad about Indiana football. That's Ohio State and Purdue, both of them.
I mean, Purdue and Indiana is just like a age-old rivalry, though. Like, that makes sense.
Not when Indiana's not involved in the game, I don't think. Indiana fans don't chant Purdue sucks during kickoff at IU football games.
Michigan State rivalry hate never sleeps.
And I feel like that's different. I feel like it's different because
Okay, I've lived in this state for 4 years, and I don't think that is much different than the Indiana Purdue rivalry. Purdue might be a little bit even more intense.
I don't know, Plaskoff. You and I have both lived here our entire lives.
Yeah.
It's always rubbed me the wrong way that Purdue fans do that. I mean, their hammer down cancer game was the game I went to. Purdue, Illinois, which was in mid-October, Indiana's first bye week.
No, it was the Iowa week.
Hammer down cancer, I thought was Purdue.
Maybe it was the bye week.
Yeah, it was the bye week because I was there.
Oh, you were there and we went to Iowa. Duh.
Yeah. And instead of chanting cancer sucks like they were supposed to, the students chanted IU sucks.
Yeah, that's weird.
Which, again, there is a time and a place for the rivalry. I think it's when you're playing the team, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Again, it would be Indiana fans don't do that. Indiana fans do not when the Hoosiers are let's say they're playing UCLA. You don't hear the students chant Purdue sucks because Purdue is not involved in the game. That's always been so weird to me, and I thought it was so funny last year. I went to Purdue Penn State because it was Indiana's bye week, and I wanted to see my friends at Purdue. They went from chanting IU sucks in the first quarter to chanting Fire Walters right before halftime, which was really, really funny. It made me laugh.
Again, that speaks to the state of the program. I think it's just all that does. If you're worried about your in-state rival who you aren't going to see for however many weeks it is at a time, instead of worrying about the product on the field because they're losing more than likely.
So
I think
bad.
It just speaks to the state of the program.
That team is so bad.
I was at the Penn State game as well, and I think by the third quarter, my two friends and I were the only people remaining in our entire section from top row to bottom. And our 3 tickets combined were cheaper than the parking pass.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a lot wrong with Purdue athletics right now, just outside of the football program, just in general. I mean, their women's basketball team lost to Purdue Fort Wayne, and they scored 9.5 points against Kentucky. The problem with Purdue's athletic department is that they don't invest enough money into NIL. That's what it is. And as far as football goes, you've seen that in the way that they have completely cratered over the last 2 years. You thought maybe they'd be better with the coaching change. And sure, they've had a tough schedule the last 2 years, but they haven't even been competitive in the vast majority of these games. And I think it's because their AD just refuses to invest the way that they should. I mean, you look at what Matt Painter is doing with basketball. Basketball requires less resources than football just because, the rosters are smaller. And Braden Smith spends all his money on terrible tattoos and a really ugly Cybertruck. But Dave Shondell with Purdue Volleyball basically had to build the roster from scratch because all of his players got poached in the transfer portal by teams with more resources. With football, they have no talent. They have no money. They cannot attract people to West Lafayette. One, because West Lafayette's just a really ugly place where the sun never shines, and there is literally nothing to do there besides do the stupid sandstorm dance in Mackey Arena. That's about it. Outside of that, there's nothing. And Purdue just cannot compete right now in this era of NIL, and I think that's part of why they've been so bad in football.
Maybe they need to spend less money on concrete and ramp materials and spend it on football. This is the stupidest thing ever. Put your grass on the ground. Don't build it up. It's supposed to be on the ground.
Is that right?
Yes.
Grass is supposed to be on the ground. You'd think a campus filled with engineers would have thought of that. Curious.
Never did I think we'd be at the point in the podcast where we're saying grass is supposed to be on the ground.
Well, hey, speaking
Next
of
you're going to tell me grass is supposed to be painted green and the sideline is supposed to be painted a different color in the end zone.
So funny.
Oh, wait.
I will give
They
Purdue
engineer
credit.
their own problems and solve their own problems that they engineer.
Create the problem and sell the solution. A lot of tech companies do that. I'm looking at you, Apple, taking away ports from the side of my laptop and then selling me dongles to fix the lack of ports on my laptop. I remember when MacBooks used to have disk drives. Yeah, that's selling or creating
Back
the problem.
in my day,
Creating the problem and selling the solution.
The unction rolls on.
I will give Purdue credit because their field is natural grass.
That is very nice.
Natural grass should be everywhere in football.
Yes.
Whether it's high school, college, or professional. I don't care if it costs more money to maintain it.
and it should be on the ground.
And the grass should be on the ground, not elevated on a concrete platform. Turf is stupid and bad. Purdue's
It's
grounds
terrible.
crew, they also have natural grass for softball and baseball. Phenomenal fields. Really, really well maintained. Good on them for that. Everything else about that campus sucks, including the stupid clanker robots that drive the food deliveries around campus.
We have those on our campus.
And it's stupid
have
and
'em
bad,
here?
and it is woke trash, and I will not stand for it.
All
Food
right.
delivery robots should not be driving around any campus.
All right, we're taking,
I would-
we're taking Nick's
I would
soapbox
expect-
away.
that
Nick's
is
soapbox.
not even about football anymore. Hold on. Back it up.
Am I not making valid points, though? The Purdue
Nick,
students
your
hate him.
soapbox has been taken.
The Purdue students hate him.
Nick.
I think I'm onto something.
Nick's soapbox
Mute
has been
the
taken.
mic. Holy
Nick's soapbox is taken.
Wow.
Okay.
And we thought grass raised was bad.
Yeah,
That's what
dang.
we get. That's what we get when we record this on a Friday.
You know what
You
the
know-
funniest part about the fact that we could just hear Nick is the fact that I've muted his mic and you can still hear him.
Oh man.
May I speak, Mr. Speaker?
I think so.
Mr. Judge, Hoosier Speaker. That's what we get when we record this on a Friday instead of on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's.
I turn my brain off on
my
Fridays.
bad.
Yeah,
My
I turn
bad.
my brain off on
I mean,
Fridays
hey,
because I don't
blame
have
the
class.
audio.
It's the Friday before Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
We are the only people on campus right now.
Yeah.
Apart from the
Except
teachers that are
Correct.
out there.
There's a Thanksgiving dinner going on or luncheon
Really?
going on right outside.
It's us, the volleyball team, the Nebraska volleyball team, the St. Louis soccer team, and Indiana soccer team.
Yep.
Correct.
Correct.
And, of course, football and basketball. That's it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to St. Louis Billikens. They beat Kentucky, I think, in overtime yesterday. And they'll take on Indiana on
Yes.
Sunday.
Back to
I'll be on
American
the call.
football.
Let's
Everybody
go.
tune in.
See, there's a plug. That was like a softball lob.
All right,
Ian.
while we're at it,
Yep.
Nebraska volleyball versus Indiana, 1 versus 17, Big Ten Plus, Saturday, 6 p.m.
Ian and I are on that call too.
Will be very good.
And what are the implications for that game, Ian Plaskoff?
Well, if Nebraska wins, they win the Big Ten title outright. If Indiana wins, they upset the number one team that's won 54 of the last 55 sets they've played. So that's kind of a big deal.
Shout out Steve Aird.
Yeah.
Just turn the program around.
Program.
He built that program from nothing.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to American football, the sport we're supposed to be talking about. Are we done with plugs? Does anyone else have something to plug that is useful and related to Indiana?
No, those are the only games I had this
Okay.
weekend.
All right. The record prediction update, because we've covered Purdue and that basically they're bad. There you go. Indiana, again, is on a bye week this week, so they will not play Purdue until Black Friday at, I don't remember the time. It's 7:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. The record prediction update. In last place, I'm just going to totally flip this because we've lost the podcast. Nick is in last place with 8 points. He's got a 2-point conversion on the touchdown to his name.
Nowhere to go but up.
In third place, myself with 11 points. I've just clicked every wrong camera there.
Hey, you got it.
Myself, we've only been doing this for 12 weeks, 13 weeks. This is episode 13. I'm in third place with 11 points. I've got a 2-point conversion on top of my touchdown and a field goal. And in third place,
Wow.
We're just fumbling the bag here. In second place is Ian. He's got 13. Missed the extra point on his second touchdown. And in first place, we're at least going to get this one right, is Ava with 2 touchdowns.
Yay! I have an efficient offense and a good defense.
And we're going to go in total opposite rule for making our score predictions. Ava, what do you got?
I adjusted my metrics since we recorded this on Wednesday.
Oh.
I'm I'm gonna go
Is that legal?
I think so.
50. The stat line
allow it.
changed.
We'll allow it.
Vegas changed.
Yeah,
I
it's the
changed.
Vegas changes.
Vegas changed. I changed. I'm gonna go 56-3 Indiana. So 8 touchdowns Indiana.
That's
That's
generous.
what I chose. All right, Ian.
All right. Well, we'll have some fun. Nobody cares about what I said the first time around.
'Cause it didn't happen.
Yeah. I think
Hypothetical.
I think Purdue will not score a touchdown, but I think they will score a field goal. So I'll give them 3. And
Do you mean a field goal from Brownsburg native Spencer Porat?
I do.
Shout out.
I think it'll be 3 for Purdue and I think Cignetti will run up the score. Yeah, you know what? I'll just keep it the same as when we recorded last time. What did I say? 63-3? Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
9 touchdowns.
I'm going to go a little bit. I'm going to tweak it just a little bit. I'm going to go 63-0. I think I'm just going to go total shutout. Nicholas Strong Opinion Rodecap, what do you got?
I'm looking at Parker Fleming's cfbgraphs.com because he puts out some good previews. And I think what I've settled on, I'm actually going to do this real quick because I want to have...
Are you doing math in the podcast?
Yes, I am.
Oh, no. If he gets the calculator out, you have the ability to clown him.
So, really? Huh.
What?
That's closer than I thought. This model has Indiana winning 37-13.
13?
Which means that I will account for the fact that this is a rivalry game and Kurt Cignetti hates Purdue and the fact that Purdue sucks and has nothing to play for. And even though they're at home, it's probably going to be mostly Indiana fans there. And I will say it will be 59 to bagel. 59 zip Indiana as the Hoosiers go 12-0 for the first time ever.
There is the chance. And that will do it for this week on Pack the Rock Podcast. As all over the places we were, welcome to the bye week where you expect the unexpected. For the Hoosier Network, I'm William Stewart. Next to me, Ian Plaskoff, and across from us, Ava Wegenke and Nick Rodecap. Thank you for joining us here on Pack the Rock Podcast. Follow along with all of us for all of your Indiana football updates. Make sure to follow along with the Hoosier Network for all your Indiana athletics updates. We will not see you next week. We will see you in 2 weeks. Have a great Thanksgiving, and happy Thanksgiving to all that are listening.